So vibe coding undermines team collaboration by replacing clear communications with subjective judgment and unpredictable AI input. So relying on intuition and on-the-fly AI completions instead of documented requirements is a recipe for scope creep and project failure. So in other words, if we get into the idea that we can consistently change software just based on a whim in terms of our ability to change it, we're not necessarily going to narrow in on a system. In fact, the big question would be, when are we done? And at the end of the day, there has to be a release or something that's released in production. And if we're redoing it and redoing it and redoing it just on our feelings, then ultimately we're not going to have something that we should be releasing at the end of the day. And so I'm just not finding how a vibe coding, kind of process kind of fits into a professional software environment. So vibe coding undermines team collaboration by replacing clear communications with subjective judgment and unpredictable AI input. So at the end of the day, there has to be a coordination, and certainly, DevOps is an example of that, are basically clear communications across development operations, security, governance, things like that, and also the developers. And ultimately, if you're not having that collaboration, everybody is on their own channel, they're, programming to their vibes, so to speak, that's not going to be there. And anybody who works on a software development team knows that that's not good. It increases the risk of hidden technical debt, as informal or AI-generated choices often go unreviewed and untested. But anything that's going to be not addressed or really doesn't get to the core business problems that we're looking to solve, that's going to be technical debt. And so, in other words, your vibes may not match up with the requirements of the business, I guess what I'm saying at the end of the day. And therefore, someone's going to have to come back and fix that. So you're going to end up developing the system twice. And I don't think that's a good idea.